Oh, that would have been such a big fish.
So there are some big fish dying that definitely don't have to. In today's video, myself and an awesome crew of anglers head 80 miles into the Gulf of Mexico to chase some monster fish. Keeping some fish for dinner is definitely a goal, but on today's trip, we're taught some lessons that will absolutely lead to fewer fish being wasted. This one was fun, and it reminded me that I still have a lot to learn. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to beautiful Panama City Beach. We got a great group of guys on the boat today fishing with TailHunter Charters. Gonna do some bottom fishing, some offshore fishing. We'll introduce you to everyone as we make our way out. Let's get after it. It's gonna be a great day. A quick drive across the bay and we headed over to this live bait barge. We loaded up on tons of these little cigar minnows, which were gonna work great once we got to the offshore spots. Another 20-minute ride, and we were all just kind of joking around, exchanging old fish stories. The boys and I decided we were going to have a little wager on who caught the biggest species of each fish, but more on that later. We pulled up to these buoys, which were just covered up in little blue runners, and I wanted to get as many of these as I possibly could.
I'm going to drop this giant quill rig, gog rig down right next to this buoy. I think the blue runners are loaded up down here. Oh my God. Oh my God, fired up, boys. Yeah, now I just got a single. Woo. A little blue runner action. I don't know about you dude, but bait fishing is the most fun for me. Bit of bait. I'm showing Brent who's boss, you know. Got to represent for the east coast of Florida because the west coast boys can't catch anything.
It's always a competition versus the east and west. I love it. He's going to use the excuse he's only got 3 on his,
I have no excuses, bro. I'm hooked up already. I don't know what you're talking about. Woo! Right. So on the boat today, we have myself. We have Brent, Sea Dude Shermer from Tampa Bay. We also have my good friend Rich Fishaholic, who's right over there.
What's happening?
Flying his drones.
I mean, if you guys want to see a lot of fish. Oh, one popped off.
Did me dirty.
Come on, Brett, you can't drop them like that.
Makes sense.
Oh, yeah. See, anyone can catch fish in the mouth. It takes skill to do that.
At the same time.
You did too? And just one.
We also had Nick from Return 'em Right on the boat, and he's going to show us a few interesting techniques on how to properly release fish later in the video.
This buoy right here, it's got a chain that goes all the way down to the bottom, so that's going to house microorganisms and other stuff that going to be forage basically for bait fish like these blue runners that we're catching. They call them hardtails here. I've heard them called like 17 different names depending on where you are geographically, but they work great for bait. Hopefully we catch some giant groupers on them later today. Oh, on the up! It might be mid-water column. Bam. There we go. Hear him? He's saying, I want to be eaten by a giant grouper.
With more bait than we knew what to do with and more gear than we will ever need, we started our 80-mile journey offshore. We hung out in these beanbag chairs, which are a must for long boat rides, and after 2 hours, we finally made it to our first spot of the day. I took the time to pick the brain of our captain, a soft-spoken but extremely knowledgeable guy, and also pretty dang humble. He explained to me some of the nuances of this fishery, and I decided I was going to drop a jig to start the day out.
We are dropping down some Mustad Staggerbot, 180 grams. Got some 40-pound leader on here. A real thin line on these reels, so this is basically, and it's called Silk Ocean line, basically like 25-pound braid type diameter, real thin, like 20-pound diameter. Oh, Brent! Oh, that's a fish!
Yeah. What you got?
I don't know, dude. I got them tight on something. In the background, just staying tight. This might be another grouper. On the bottom again.
You guys having any fun yet?
Hey man, you ready for this? Doubled up, boy!
No, the real question is, whose is bigger?
Oh! Mine might have turned into a jack. We'll see. Oh my gosh!
Hey, trigger!
Big trigger fisherman over here.
I'm gonna have to get him. Oh my god.
Wow. Alright, watch yourself real quick. Woo! Oh!
See the air coming out?
Okay, you see this? This is the benefit of jigs. It's just a handbag right there. Okay, so check this out. That's a big old trigger fish. He's not happy to see us, but we're happy to see him. These are actually very delicious fish. It's just some people turn their nose up at them because they're actually a little bit harder to clean. If you guys were able to feel this skin right here, pulling back on it, it's almost like sandpaper. It's real rough once you get that slime off of it. The coolest thing about these fish, I don't know if you guys have seen this before, I'm forcing really, really hard on this thing. Can't move it, it's stuck. But if I press this thing, it's a little trigger and it'll pull down that fin. It's really, really cool. You could push as hard as you wanted on that and you're not gonna get it to go, but doink! He's a little blown up from barotrauma, but unfortunately for him, we're not returning him with the return him right gear. We're keeping this guy for dinner. It's probably a pile of them under the boat. There we go. There you go. On the jig. There we go. Big heavy fish. Oh, it's pissed. Nice head shakes. There we go. Smoked the jig. Was bouncing it on the bottom for a while, very close to the bottom when we got bit. I like the feeling of that fight. Definitely like the feeling. Oh, oh, rip and drag down. Woo! Good jig bite is fun, man. Haven't been on a good jig bite in a while. Now that we got him kind of off the bottom, I'm gonna kind of chill out and just kind of straight crank, because you got that heavy jig hanging out of their mouth. And if you're going crazy trying to fight them like a madman, you're just applying more reasons for that jig to come out. So it's just steady crank. Doesn't look as sexy for the camera fighting fish, but he's off the bottom. I get to chill now. I'm out of the danger zone. And just steady tension, reeling up. There we go, we got a floater. Woo! Look at that gag. Look at that gag. Wow. These are out of season, aren't they? All right, well, this is perfect for what we got going on today. Smoked it. Look at the size of that gag grouper. That's beautiful. That honestly could be my biggest gag grouper too. That's just an absolute stud, man. I think 16 pounds?
Yep, 16 pounder. Yeah, when you pull these fish up from deep, you can see the stomach coming out of the mouth. That's from barotrauma. The gases expand in their body and it actually displaces organs. So we're gonna clip this on a sequelizer descending device. Set to release at 150 feet. I had 3 pounds, I quickly put 2 more pounds on. And you'll see how he's floating there? And then we'll just send him back with that weight. And it'll carry him back down to depth. And once it hits 150 feet, it'll pop off. And he'll recompress on his way down, so all those gases will go back to their normal state. And he'll be good to live.
So for today's little wager, Brent, Rich, and myself all were competing for the biggest gag grouper, the biggest red grouper, the biggest amberjack, and the biggest American red snapper. At 16 pounds, this put me in an early lead for the biggest gag grouper of the day. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't talking a little bit of smack to the guys, but we'll leave those comments off YouTube for now. They weren't the most appropriate.
We are swapping it up, just got cut off or broke off or something like that. Switched to a Johnny Jigs 180 gram flatty. These things flutter really aggressively. Got some BKK Lentis Foros on there. Drop that bad boy down. You know, a dead, wounded fish down on the bottom and like little mangrove snapper and stuff like that. It's gonna ravage it. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I'm on. Oh, off right there. Ate it when I was in free spool. Oh yeah, 100%. Oh. Yeah, me too. There's a little baby scamp. Little short scamp. This is a beautiful little scamp grouper. These are one of the best eating fish in the ocean. See that yellow mouth? It's almost a sea trout like. He's got his little teeth to just hold on to fish. But look at the marbling on these guys. And they don't get a true broomtail like the South American species, but they definitely have an interesting looking tail. Very broom-like. Beautiful little fish, man.
With everyone else on the boat jigging, I decided that one of those blue runners needed to be on the bottom. So I was the first to grab my live bait rod and drop one down.
Here, they call them hardtails, little blue runner. I'm gonna drop this down as a live bait. I'm gonna take this guy, circle hook through the nose. Circle hooks are essential for catching fish or letting fish go that you didn't want to keep. They will typically get the fish in the corner of the mouth, and it is now required in the Gulf to use circle hooks. So there it goes. Drop in the water.
It's another trigger fish.
Drop down. We got about 12 ounces of lead on here. And Captain Wynn will use his electrics a lot of the time. Big gear, you know, big heavy bent butt. I'm gonna see if I can't get worked on the hand crank rod.
Get our limit.
I feel like I'm just gonna get worked by an amberjack. Super nervous. Oh my God.
You rock yet? There he is.
Oh, I got a crank, don't yank. Whatever it was, choked that blue runner. That was an aggressive thump. That was like snook fishing. Hooked up on the live bait. Oh, Rich is getting work too. Doubled up, buddy. Oh, mine's rip and drag too. You can't hear it as much. Man, oh my God. This is a strong fish. We got lock drag on him. Kind of got a pier rod, kind of got like an 8-foot. I just needed a stiffer bottom rod for today. I pulled out one of my pier rods. I'll do my tuna stance.
There you go.
You get that knee leverage. Gain that line back. I just got to get him out of the danger zone, man. He's been taking so much line. Get him higher in the water column so he's away from stuff that he can break me off on. The thump was cool. That was like I was snook fishing. You just literally, I feel the bait freaking out. Boom!
Record trigger fish.
Giant.
Oh, I might be on you.
Oh, you are.
Another trigger. Oh no, is that what I have? I have a trigger again.
Yeah, I got a fish on too, so I gotta be, yeah. There we go.
Can you hold that one up for me, Scott? Yeah. Can I hold that one up?
There he is.
Looks like
We got an AJ. Big AJ circling down there. Call them the reef donkeys.
permit list. All right. Where do you want me over here? Oh yeah. All right, guys, another trigger fish.
Beautiful.
I thought it was gonna be.
There we go.
You want me to bring
That's
it
not
all?
even that big of an AJ, but these guys really fight for their size. He choked that blue runner down, gave me a good fight, and luckily with these guys, they don't get barotrauma as bad as the grouper, so we actually don't even have to use the descending tool to get him down. He's gonna be good on his own, but ton of fun. Scott, what are the seasons for AJs right now?
It usually opens up in May, but this year it's not opening up until September with gags.
Gotcha. Okay, so they're closed too. A lot of people don't even keep them because they tend to get wormy sometimes, but a one this size, I would typically eat if they were in season. It's a nice fish. They're a lot of fun, man.
We are at.
You're fine.
You think it needs vented?
It's
Yeah. It's definitely bigger than mine, so that's
about 15, 16.
Yeah, so this guy might be good, but he doesn't have any air in him. See how it's soft here? I don't feel any air in there, so he's
No
probably good
tension?
to go.
All right.
They can actually burp out some air, so they have something called off-gassing with these ones. So yeah, he shot straight down, but amberjack can sometimes off gas and get some of that air out on their own, unlike a lot of the snapper grouper.
After I got a look at the sonar, it seemed like there were a ton of AJs under the boat. So I decided to get back to jigging, which seemed to be producing more groupers.
It's the boat most comfortable. You look least like a doofus when you wear it. Oh, that's a good fish. Oh, that's a good fish right on the bottom. Come on up, buddy. Oh, rip and drag too, son. Big hit on the bottom. I like that. I like it when it's right on the bottom, man. Typically, if you're getting them right down there, straight on the bottom, you have the chance that it's going to be a real nice grouper. So we'll see what this ends up being. Hooked up on the jig, man. Hooked up right on the bottom, pulled real good. And now it's trying to calm it down, making me hope that's the right kind. Nice, delicious grouper species.
Yeah.
Ooh, pulling a little drag here again.
All right, we'll see.
You get sharked.
I think he just got sharked. Yep. Yep, sharked.
Broke you off.
Yep.
Big gag. Where's that boat?
I just lost my gag.
Yeah, that was probably a big gag.
Oh, look, he just pulled hook. Oh, the shark cut off one of the hooks. See that? Oh, we got the jig back at least.
While I was busy hooking sharks, Rich pulled up this stud African pompano. Now, this fish is especially big for this area. They typically don't see him this big up in Panama City. Captain Scott was absolutely stoked, and so was Rich. He had never caught one this big. Myself, I knew that if there was one down there, there was likely more. So I decided I was going to tie on a jig that I had caught a big African pompano on before and see if I could hook up. So I grabbed a new set of BKK Lentis assist hooks and this Johnny Jigs 200 gram in a silver and glow pattern. This is the exact same jig. I literally believe the same jig that I caught my personal best African pompano on. I was showing Rich here how it's rigged up, and then I dropped it down and I was working it heavy mid-water column.
The little African pompano have, or tracers. That was a big bite. That was a big bite.
Ryan's hooked up.
Oh my God.
Dumping.
Dude, he's ripping, son.
Grouper, you think?
Dude, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. It definitely could be. The way it's rip and drag. Whew. Big hookups, buddy. Big hookups. This thing ripped a lot of drag and really fast. Come on up. Come on up, fish. 20's strong, man.
Yeah, the 20 grade is like. I mean, the rule of thumb is it's usually double its normal, like, rating. Yeah.
Come on up, fish. Come on up.
Like Celtics 832, 8-pound grade.
Oh! Yeah, I definitely got 8. I could feel him getting 8.
Dang.
Like
an AT though?
It definitely could have been, dude.
The way it was fighting.
The way it ripped off that first run really fast, I think that might exactly be what it was. That sucks.
Brad, did you lose your fish too?
Shark.
Oh my gosh.
Sharked. Shark cut me off.
I'm really not happy.
With 2 nice fish getting sharked, we headed to a new spot. We didn't want to further contribute to the association these sharks have between boats and the dinner bell.
All right, Rich, you ready for this? Ooh, look at this. Going down,
bite-sized bait.
a little McNugget. Give him the 2-piece bait. It is tuber boat. Oh my God! Oh, what the? But I lost everything.
Broke off my bottom.
Yeah. But like, that's so weird.
Sail cat?
All right, we are going to drop this a little live cigar minnow straight down to the bottom in 300 feet of water. See what wants to eat him. I'm sure something will. There he is. There he is. Go.
Oh, geez, Ryan. Grouper?
Get you in the bottom.
Oh, he's pulling drag. There we go. Yeah, on the cigar minnow. We are on, and we are on. Drop down to a smaller size bait. Live cigar minnow. It's on the bottom for a little bit of time. Failed to get picked up. Didn't think it was going to be as big of a fish. This thing's pulling pretty good, man. No complaints. Well, you know, when I put the knee up on the gunnel to get better leverage with this rod, it's going to be a bigger fish. Just steady cranking, man. Steady cranking. Braided line. Has less drag, so I really like that for bottom fishing. You can feel the bites, a little bit more sensitivity. And then I have some Top Shot Amano spliced onto here, so we have a little bit of stretch, just enough to give me a little bit of leeway with these fish and their head shakes. Whew. Big fatty.
Out of season. Big one, man.
When's the season in the Gulf?
It's a 70-day season this year for private wrecks. Florida, it's June 16th to July 31st, but then they have every Friday, Saturday, Sunday in October, November.
Wow. That's such a pretty fish. Giant pink snapper. Ton of fun to catch, man. Wish I could eat this guy, but you know, it is what it is. See that belly? Again, trying to compensate for that pressure change. It's sticking out, but we're gonna get him right. We're gonna get him down back on the bottom, swimming around. Hopefully be caught when it's season and we can bring one of these guys home for dinner.
Yeah, just swap it.
So for our little side bet, sitting at a 17-pound ARS. There we go. So we're clipped into the sending tool. Bam. Drop him back down.
All right, slowly going down. Excellent. There we go. So that's a 3-pound weight and 17-pound fish.
And if we didn't hook that fish onto that weight and we just like put him in the water, he'd just float there.
Yeah.
He'd be half alive floating and then he would end up dying.
And we're in what, 350 feet?
Yep.
So this is actually a deep water sequelizer, so I have that set to release at 300 feet. So we're gonna get him almost all the way back to where you caught him, which is great. And then it'll pop open and release him.
So, Nick works for Return 'em Right. I thought I understood what the company was. I did not understand what the company was, so maybe you can explain kind of like what your guys' purpose is, what the goal is of the company.
Yeah, Return 'em Right is more of like a brand and like a program. And the whole goal is to better equip anglers who fish offshore for reef fish. You know, the reason we're out here doing this is because we love fishing, and we want to be able to do this for as long as possible. So taking care of the fish we can't keep is a vital skill in fishing. It's not just catching the fish; it's also knowing how to release them. We're also about the meat haul, as you guys will see from the footage from today. But you know, when you pull fish up from depth and they're floating off, it's a waste of the resource. And you know, there's techniques to help these fish get down, whether it's venting or descending, and we're here to be a resource for anglers. So whether that's teaching you how to vent, whether that's answering questions on people who want to improve their skills on releasing reef fish. We have an online education module so people can learn everything they need to know about barotrauma, venting, and descending.
And that's where you can get the free stuff if you take the online module, right?
Yeah,
you can get a free, what is it, release tool?
Descending device. It's actually 2 descending devices and the weight to descend the fish. So it's really like $100 value each kit, and it takes only about 15 minutes. And if you fish in the Gulf of Mexico, yeah, we'll send you $100 worth of release gear. You'll learn how to use it to support the resource, which is even more important.
That's
so you get the education, you get the free gear, and then you'll be equipped next time you go offshore.
And I'll tell you guys what, when Phil originally told me about this trip, they said, you know, Return 'em Right, whatever, is gonna, you know, be on the boat with us. And I was like, great, there's gonna be some nerd from some university that doesn't fish, be like, I'm gonna show you how to release your fish. And Nick legit actually fishes, so that's really cool. It's, you know, it's a problem in the industry. Is a lot of people that, you know, work on the corporate side of things don't actually know how to fish, don't know how to speak to fishermen. So it's cool to see companies like Return 'em Right making good things happen for the community. So check, is there like a website or a link?
returnemright.org, or check us out on social, Return 'em Right. If you message us, contact us anywhere, I'll be the one to answer. So I'll hook you up if you have any questions or if you just need some tips and tricks out on the water.
All the dudes and girls sliding into your DMs.
Not the worst problem.
So we've already got a ton of fish in the boat, but we came out here to get some big groupers in the box. So that's the ultimate goal, right? Gonna try and find some big red groupers, something that we can take home, and there's plenty more bottom to fish. Captain Scott has all the numbers. You guys wish you could see his screen right now. So we're gonna keep dropping down some live baits, jigs, because you really just never know when the fish are gonna turn on to one or the other, so it's good to have multiple different presentations. And holding out some hope, maybe in the afternoon there might actually be some tunas coming up, popping on the surface. So I'm actually gonna get rigged up and ready for that, because you never know when that could happen.
At the next spot, Brent hooked up big time. This looked like a legit fish that we had all been chasing the entire day.
Oh, yeah. I got someone's line. There we go.
That's what you wanted.
That's what we were looking for. Let's see.
What pound are we looking at?
We are looking at 14 pounds.
14-pound red grouper, dude.
14 pounds right there.
Money fish.
Woo!
That's my biggest red grouper I just got.
Dude, you earned it.
Absolutely
You
annihilated
earned it.
right
Hold him
there.
up. Let me see that thing.
But that is
Woo!
definitely my biggest red grouper I've ever caught right there. On the jig too. That is so sick. That's why we came here a little bit shallower for. So let's see if we can get on them. Seems like people are getting bit. Yeah. Maybe I would have won something today. Yeah.
A lot of work. There he is.
That one? Oh yeah, Ryan's on. Oh, you're
on big. Big.
That's a grouper.
Big.
Get his brother.
Big. Oh. Come on up, fish. Oh. Big, heavy fish, man. Putting a real bend in the rod. Tough to get cranks in, but I try and gain line as much as I can and as fast as I can, because there's always predators down there that want these grouper just as much as I do. And we don't know what this is. Could be a big jack, could be, you know, AJ, something like that, but always try and treat it like it's that fish you really want. I'm getting tired, man. We've been catching some fish this trip. My arms are getting sore.
Oh yeah, there's a big shark.
Oh no.
Look at that. That was a big old.
Oh my god.
It's a 35-pound fish.
Oh my god.
You want to weigh half of it?
That sucks.
Dang.
Dude, that was a huge fish. Let's see if it gets on there.
That was that big grouper you want. Look, just the head is 20 pounds.
20-pound head? Are you kidding me?
Alright, that's the biggest one.
That literally would have been my biggest grouper of any, I mean, not including Goliaths of all time. That's heartbreaking. And you know, like, we wouldn't have been able to keep this fish. Definitely would have liked to release him, but that's the reality of when you're out here bottom fishing, or when you're just out offshore fishing. There's always a food chain. There's always sharks. There's always something that's gonna want these things like you do. Man, that sucks. Oh, that would have been such a big fish. Oh, heartbreaking, man.
Not gonna lie, I was super bummed that that fish got sharked, and I was pretty much over all these sharks. We were changing up spots, and I told myself that at the next spot, no matter what happened, I was going to put my all into getting the fish to the surface as fast as possible. I was going to look ridiculous when I was fighting the fish, but I didn't care if I pulled hooks. I didn't care if I broke it off. I was just going to put everything I had into the rod and turn in the handle and getting that fish up to the surface as fast as possible.
I was like, wow, I've never even heard of this boat before, and like the fit and finishes was.
You fish with Dell?
Nah, it was It's all right. Continue this later.
Get him, Ryan.
Come on, fish.
Rod tip in the water.
I can't talk. Oh, wow. At least this one came in whole. I'd really like to take this guy home, but the season is only September to December now, correct?
November 10th. Remember?
Wow, that's a short season. This is a beautiful fish. Super fun, obviously fight hard. I don't know if he's gonna show us for you guys. You can see those teeth in there. Definitely a big predator down there on the reef. Beautiful fish. If you look at that marbling, man, what's not to like about that? That is just a gorgeous animal. Very appreciative of this fish, and saw me fight like an absolute madman. And that's because we had 2 fish get sharked, 2 big fish, and trying to catch big red grouper. There's plenty of red grouper down there, but these are going to be a bycatch whether you like it or not. So try and treat this fish right. We're going to get him back, return him the right way, and get him down.
So Saltwater Sportsman magazine set this trip up, as well as a few other trips that I've been on this year. If you guys are interested in learning more about these adventures, or checking out a magazine subscription, I've been writing a few articles for them. Maybe you guys want to check those out. Check the links below. So we had about enough time for 2 more drops, and Brent was still holding the red grouper with me holding fast in the other 3 spots. I wanted that clean sweep really bad. I knew it was mainly luck, but I was dropping down and trying my best to get that big red grouper in the boat.
Hooked up on the butterfly. Not a giant fish, but we hooked something. Butterfly, blue runner on the bottom. Been a second. I've had like a little lull in fishing. I've been chilling. That's because you catch so many fish on charters like this, man. Your body starts to cramp up. There's a little red.
Oh, we're on the red grouper now.
Got a red grouper. Woo!
That one's gonna be close, right? You said you have a roll?
So yeah, that red grouper just spit that out of its stomach. Some kind of little crab. Looks almost like a little spider crab or something.
All right, that is actually what we came for as a pretty little red grouper. This one's slightly undersized, so we're gonna return this one back to the depths. But beautiful little fish. Look at the chompers on that thing. Rows of teeth. These things will chill in one area, and like, spear fishermen call them pretty dumb. I've called them dumb before because they'll just kind of stare at you. Those like look at you all confused. They don't migrate, they don't hunt, it seems like, as much as gags and blacks do. But we're gonna let this guy go, put him down on the sending tool. Man, bam, clipped in just like a boga grip. Got 3 pounds of lead on here, and we are good to go. Put the reel in pre-spool. Bam, and he's going down to the depths. And he's gonna swim off, to grow a little bit bigger, and then hopefully someone gets to keep him one day.
With only a couple minutes left, pretty much everyone else was done fishing, but I decided to drop one more bait and just see if I could pull up that big red grouper that I had been chasing all trip. The fishing had pretty much slowed down, so I didn't blame everyone else for chilling out, but I was determined to do everything I could to get that fish in the boat.
So I'm about to go 4 for 4 on this bet just off this drop.
Don't do it to me.
14.5 pounder coming in. I'm gonna go walleye style on your
Ryan now, he won the category for the tournament for the gag, the red snapper, and
amberjack.
Amberjack.
Oh.
And Brent is taking the gold for the red grouper.
Another red grouper.
So I'm going home a loser. But hey, I still caught the African pompano.
You caught the best fish of the trip, dude.
I'm stoked about that. And one last fish before wrapping it up.
Let's go. Let's go. Come on, fish. Go. Oh, it's pissed.
This is a way to end it right here.
Come on, fish.
Perfect time.
It feels grouper like, boys. Come on. My body is so beat up from today fighting these fish.
Oh, we got a dollar. We got a dollar. Looks like a gag. One last one.
One last.
To end it.
Another gag.
The shark following him up. If you look right down there. Almost got sharked again.
Hey man, that's why we got to put the wood to him to get him away from the shark. Another stud fish, man, out on TailHunter Charters. You guys got to come out here and do this epic day on the water.
You want to?
Right, he's ready to go, right? You vented him?
We vented him.
Alright, he's good to go. Alright, so he's vented. Going back. And there he goes. There he goes. Straight back down. And I'll follow him down.
Woo! It's not extremely, crazy fishing. It's drop down and turn the handle like a madman a lot of the time, right?
As long as you can turn the handle.
Yeah. And you run in charters how many times a year, or what time of year?
Usually from May to about October, November.
That's like your favorite time?
Yeah, usually the hotter months.
Gotcha. And what do you think people have like the most fun? Like, what do you think people come here to fish for the most often?
Definitely red snapper and grouper.
Yeah.
Gag grouper, scam, red grouper. But definitely the red snapper. That's
Gotcha.
our busiest. Yeah.
What's your favorite?
I actually like to do inshore pompano fish.
What?
Yeah.
So you come out here, this pays all your bills, but you like the inshore pompano fishing?
Yeah.
I think I would be the same way, to be honest. I think a little bit of more lax fishing, stuff like that, would be really, really good. So, guys, we're gonna have Captain Scott's information linked down below if you guys want to do a charter. If you're out here in Panama City, just check his stuff out. We are back. That was one heck of a trip. Right now, we're unloading the boat, unloading all of the fish that we ended up keeping for the day. There's a heck of a lot of them back there. We're gonna grab what we got, and we're gonna be filleting up some of these fish, and we're gonna do a catch and cook in this video. So stay tuned. We'll see what we decide to fillet up and what we decide to cook up. So we are going to fillet up one of these red grouper that I did not catch, but our crew was nice enough to let me fillet this guy up, show you guys. You can see this fish is still suffering from that barotrauma. Obviously he's not with us anymore, but you can see, pop that, all that air starts deflating, starts expanding out. We're just gonna fillet him up. Danko Pro Series fillet knife, German steel. These are lifetime warranties on these actually, and you guys can save with these with my code flashing on the screen. Danko's a great company and they make a really awesome knife. So just gonna start with an initial cut back here, back towards the head, along the line of the fish. These are very, very delicious fish, real small scales on them. Once we get down to the bottom, we're just going to punch through. Scamp is delicious, it's one of my favorites. Now we're just working our way back along the line of the fish, just like this, separating that meat. Wow, this looks good, this looks delicious. I'm excited to eat this fish later. And there we have our red grouper fillet. Welcome back to the kitchen. I'm here with my beautiful girlfriend, Christina. We are going to be cooking up some of that grouper, but I have a confession for you guys. We're actually not cooking the grouper that I filleted. I actually filleted some scamp, and the scamp was looking really, really good. So that's what we're cleaning, or that's what we're gonna be eating tonight. We're going in, and I don't know what to call this sauce that we're gonna put on our sandwiches, but I'll show you guys all the ingredients, and you guys can comment down below what we should call it. So we have some roasted red peppers we're gonna be going into the blender with. Oh yeah, that looks good. They smell amazing too. I wish you guys could smell them. Go for maybe half this jar. We're gonna add a little bit of mayo. We have about, it was like 2 cloves of chopped garlic. Sprinkle that in there. We're gonna zest a little bit of lemon, and we're also gonna add a little bit of lemon juice. So don't want to completely overpower it because the lemon can definitely make it a little bit too sour very, very fast, but this lemon zest definitely adds a little bit of freshness and that, you know, the essence of lemon. And add just a little touch of lemon juice, not too much, a couple drops. Couple basil leaves. I'll just pre-tear them up a little bit with my hands before I go in there. And we'll see how this guy turns out.
We're making sweet potato fries, and I'm just dipping my brush into a little bit of olive oil, just lightly spreading it on there so when we bake it, it can crisp nicely. Now we're just gonna go in with salt and pepper. so some of these are very salty. And pepper. We preheated the oven at 400 degrees and I'm putting it in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes, just until they crisp.
So here is our beautiful scamp grouper, one of the whitest fillets that you'll see. These fish are delicious. Just gonna go with a very simple seasoning, a little salt, a little pepper, a little garlic powder, and a little bit of smoked paprika.
Is that different than the usual one?
Yeah, it has a little bit of a smokier flavor to it. And just flip that over and do the same thing to the other side. Medium heat, going in with a little bit of oil. Just barely enough to kind of coat the bottom of the pan. And then we'll go in with our pieces of scamp grouper. What do you got? So what did we do?
Big sweet potato fries. Hot.
So what did you do with them?
We cooked them. Yeah, we actually cooked them about 25 minutes, and then we ended up broiling them on high for about like 2-3 minutes.
Go in for the flip. Oh yeah. That is beautiful. You actually kind of smelled smoked paprika. It does have a little bit of a smoky scent to it. Bam. So we are going in with our buns. We're gonna just toast. We got slightly buttered, toasted ciabatta buns. Let's see, this one's been on there for a second. Just wait until it kind of gets a little bit golden brown. Got these on lower heat, so I'll bump that up just a hair. Really, really flaky, flakes apart a little bit there. Delicious fish. This one piece is fatter, so it'll take like a little bit extra time. And now we just basically assemble everything. So we're gonna start with a little bit of our roasted red pepper sauce. Gonna go onto our toasted ciabatta bread. Went a little heavy on the garlic on this guy, so it's got a little bit of a bite to it, but I really like it. I think Christina just might have to suffer through because it's exactly what I wanted, a little bit too much of a bite for her. Come back over here. I'm gonna take the big fat piece of fish because I'm just feeling big and fat. Lay that guy on there. One of the roasted red peppers. We're gonna add some red onion.
This is delicious.
Yeah. And a touch of lettuce. And just a little bit more sauce. Bam. We also have some of Christina's world famous sweet potato fries.
I thought that that was one of the best tasting fish that we've had the pleasure of cooking together.
It is really, really good. If you guys...
It's much more tender than the other stuff. I guess the other stuff has been more like firm, he said.
The last two fish that I've served you were pompano and cobia, which are both traditionally more firm fish compared to this. Scamp is really flaky, a little bit buttery. So a lot of people call them pre-buttered fish. So delicious. I would always pick a scamp grouper over almost everything else. So huge thank you to you guys for watching today's video. Thank you to Saltwater Sportsman, Return 'em Right, for making this video happen. And huge thanks you to Christina for being here and helping me film the cooking, and always appreciating my cooking because,
Best chef ever.
I don't know about all that, but it's a lot more fun to film a, catch and cook when there's more than one of us and it's just not just me cooking solo. But thank you to you guys for watching today's video. If you want more awesome fishing content, go ahead and check out this video that's like hovering right over Christina's head. I know it's rude, but we'll see you guys over there.
Oh wait, one more thing.
So Christina actually cooked a dessert before dinner, and she's very, very proud of it. We already tried a little bit and it was completely delicious, but she made
Okay, half of it's gone.
What is it?
It is lemon blueberry crescent rolls. You can't see, get a good picture of it. But yeah, half of it's gone already, but now we get to enjoy this. If you like more food videos, follow the 321 Foodie.
See you guys in the next one.